The potential use of pure computer games, which include simulations and virtual worlds, could have an influence on the way teachers teach over the next 5 years. Games such as SimCity and The Incredible Machine, not only do students have fun playing them, they also learn how useful the content from the games is. SimCity is a virtual world where you are the mayor of a town. You run the society the way you want. You are basically in control of a virtual world you create. You can choose different scenarios such as a nuclear meltdown or a volcanic disaster, and you can control the way the world functions. Teachers can implement this game into lessons on geography. It would show the students how a society would function according to the ways the student reacts to events within their world. The Incredible Machine is a game based on physics. You have different scenarios where you have to get an object from point A to point B. The students would learn how motors work and have a basic introduction to physics. Teachers can implement this into lessons on science. It would show students a basic introduction to physics. Although physics can be quite complicated, this could be a great introduction for students to have a basic understanding of physics in everyday life. Whether it would be the use of interactive whiteboards, Kindles or iPads, students love using technology. The recent introduction of Kindles and iPads into schools has revolutionized how students and schools use technology.
The potential use of video games, simulations and virtual worlds in education and teaching are many. The use of such definitely has a bright future in this industry. The use of such is a pivotal way of interaction, such as programs and games, such as ones like Math Invaders, can be used to keep a student interested in what they are doing, away from the current norm of pen and paper, doing endless exercises of A plus B equals C. Games in teaching is also a way for assessment. The better the student plays the game, the better they are at the correlating subject that the educational game is on. Video games in the next 5 years can be used in teaching through a variety of ways. With the vast advancement of digital media throughout the past 20 years, can be used for almost, if not every subject. The potential use of games can be used through simply made games for the core purpose of education, such as games like Math Invaders. However, a lot of games can be used for the content of literacy and linguistic skills. For instance, an experiment held that used a popular 2007 game named BioShock, which helped with student grammar and linguistic skills, but also helps the student to promote abstract thinking because of what is being said throughout the game, and its combination shows great new and traditional literacies, which shows a multimodal literacy par excellence. This itself shows the great potential of the use of video games that will be more and more influenced to be introduced and included, used as a tool to help throughout the educational curriculum. Games are also a great way of motivating students through the use of high scores and point systems. This can be used to keep the students interested, as well as also having fun. Fictional underwater adventure games like BioShock are not the only ways for games and virtual worlds to be used in education. In a proven study of students playing the game Age of Empires 2 for the subject of social sciences, the students quickly learned and described what intent the game had for the subject. Whilst playing the game, students were also learning how to read graphs and charts through the use of the statistical screens included in the game. Throughout the years, many educators have been leaning towards being for the use of digital media and video games in education, but have either lacked the tools of use, or the teacher's own skill of operating the systems or programs involved themselves will not be adequate. With this, in the next 5 years, you will see the increase of new technologies being used to create games, simulators, and virtual worlds for the education, as well as teachers for whom that will use said programs, will be much more educated in how to use things such as PlayStation or work in Nintendo DS. Therefore, the use of digital media will be taking a massive step forward into the classroom, perhaps even being a fully integrated part of the curriculum for the teachers to teach.
The use of games within school allows for children to relax, concentrate, and enjoy their learning. This is because they do not see the games as repetitive and boring, as they seem to associate with the traditional pen and paper work. Most games that are used within schools require 2 or more players, which makes learning more fun and also gives the opportunity for students to learn from each other. There is also less need for testing if a student can correctly and rapidly give the correct answers. The fear of failure some students may have is also somewhat removed due to the relaxed nature of the games. Games also offer the opportunity to help students who may have trouble in certain areas. From personal experience, I've used educational games throughout my schooling and have thoroughly enjoyed them. A personal favourite of mine was Maths Blaster, a game I played throughout the later years of primary schooling. It combined maths problems with a storyline of being a superhero, which gave the element of fun and excitement at the same time as learning. A more contemporary gaming program used throughout the world is a website known as Mathletics, which combines mathematic equations with a light-hearted competition against 3 other players to see who can solve the most mathematical equations in exactly 1 minute. It helps to increase the speed at which equations are solved, focusing on the 4 basic equations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division at different levels of competence, ranging from foundation, which is prep, to grade 6. Virtual worlds as a useful tool for education should be strayed away from, as they do not provide a safe environment, as many people are able to access these technologies. It is unknown who the students could be talking to or what they could be talking about when using the virtual worlds. Simulations could also be used for educational purposes as tools for explanation. For example, a safety simulation on crossing the road could be designed and implemented by the education department for all schools to use. We're also designing a simulation on proper manners and social conduct to help younger students adapt to a normal social life. The potential for games and simulations within education is enormous. They bring to the table not only enjoyment, but an enormous variety of knowledge. The future of teaching will without a doubt include the use of more and more technology that will help to aid teachers, as well as helping students learn in a relaxing, enjoyable environment. It is important that this technology not be wasted.
According to Poltz, it suggests that the learning environment needs to be supportive and productive. The learning environment promotes independence, interdependence, and self-motivation. Students' needs, backgrounds, perspectives, and interests are reflected in the learning program. Students are challenged and supported to develop deep levels of thinking and application. Assessment practices are an integral part of teaching and learning. Learning connects strongly with communities and practice beyond the classroom.